Just when you thought it was all over, they always come back for more. Nothing truly stays dead forever. The witching hour is upon us, and time is running out. It's a race against the clock and against the undead. This is the Venom month of horrors for Corona Fever.
Hello? Let you in?
You're Michael Myers!
Dumbass. Hello?
Is that any way to greet me, you useless carbuncle on my flesh?
Mom?
I'm not your mother. Unless you want me to be.
Mother, are you hitting on him?
Stay out of this, Norman.
Yes, we have 12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
What?
You could always stay at cabin number 1. It has a really nice view, comfortable mattresses, and a very easy-to-use shower.
Who are you?
I'm Norman Bates.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Look, I've seen the movies and you are clearly not Norman Bates.
You've obviously not seen the third one.
What the hell?
I've tried that already. There is no escape.
What the hell is happening?
This is a plane of madness. Once you're in here, you can't leave. That is, unless...
Unless what?
you can find a way to become sane again.
But I'm not even insane! I don't even know why I'm here in the first place! You're the nutball!
I said the same thing too when I was banished to the plane of madness many years ago. It all started with a bird.
Look, I need to get out of here!
Fine. Lily, why don't you take over?
Okay. Where do you want me to start with?
Lowly? What the...
I want you to tell the story, but if you're not telling anything correctly, I'll just jump in and chime in and all that nonsense.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Oh, for fuck! Of course, the second film was surprisingly well received, so naturally a third was going to be in the works. Though this time, lead star Anthony Perkins was even let into the director's chair, giving him a lot more control than the previous installments.
The story follows me, Norman Bates.
You're not Norman Bates!
Yes, he is, boy.
Had something stuck in my throat, sorry.
No harm done.
The story follows me 1 month after Psycho 2, where I've gone a bit mad.
You're off your rocker!
That makes two of us.
Emma Spool is still missing, and an investigation begins while I fall head over heels in love with a wonderful lady called Maureen, played by Diana Scarwood.
And let me guess, you go a little mad and then start killing people off one by one.
Don't call me mad.
But you just said you...
Mother, he's calling me mad. You festering sack of goop.
Well, that's the worst kind.
This was actually Anthony Perkins' directorial debut, and he admitted that he didn't feel confident doing so, not believing he was educated enough behind the camera, though the cast and crew did confess that they really enjoyed working for him.
Sure.
Except for actress Juliet Cummins, who accidentally made a joke about Perkins' homosexuality, which led her to almost being fired from the picture.
Probably not the best idea.
Wait, if you're Norman Bates, how the hell do you know who Anthony Perkins is?
Mother, he's trying to confuse me again, isn't he?
Do that again, and I'll show you what real fear looks like, boy.
I understand.
While Psycho 2 was a big hit, the third one was more of a mixed bag.
It does have its cult following, but reviews at the time were hit and miss, some believing it was a great story that avoided ripping off Hitchcock's work, and some preferring it over Part 2, while some other people found it coated with filler.
Though it did become the lowest grossing movie in the entire series. So much so, a fourth film was considered with Perkins again directing and helping write, but when this one flopped at the box office, it was shelved and they did a prequel instead. But we're just gonna see how bad this could possibly be. This is Psycho 3.
We all have to make a third film sometime.
What?
Oh, these opening shots are beautifully done, though. These are great. Like, they make you feel the scenery.
I fully agree.
Take that, Gus Van Sant.
Bum. So she hitchhikes with some weirdo called Dwayne Duke. Man, what is it with weird, mysterious guys in horror movies with the last name Duke? So now Maureen is terrified of Jesus, that damn Middle Eastern Jew.
You can put that suitcase in the back seat if you want.
Thank you.
Hey, watch the guitar.
Hey, watch the bad acting.
Car trouble?
Yes. Yes, I had car trouble.
Oh yeah, what kind?
No car.
Okay, I'll give him that. That was pretty funny.
Alright, not to point out realism or anything, but the tires don't screech like that in the rain. If anything, they'd make more of a sloshing noise because of the water.
So it starts p***ing it down, so they park for the night. But if horror movies have taught me anything, it's that all men are rapists.
Yeah, I know where this is going. To be fair, I wouldn't put it past the douchebag musician that's on his way to Los Angeles to make it big in the 80s. These seem to be a prerequisites on some kind of skeevy Hollywood checklist. Along with Harvey Weinstein, Mick Jagger, Bill Cosby.
So we enter a full-on rape scene before he gives up, kicks her out and drives off.
Stupid bitch. You could have been coming instead of going.
Ha! She would never sleep with a mangy mutt like you.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that I don't like people disrespecting women.
You stabbed them in the shower.
Mother!
I'll slit your throat, boy.
I'm sorry.
But being a rapist is the least of his worries. Look at that, his taillight's out. And then we cut to my place. Welcome to the Bates Motel. Make yourself at home.
And there you are, Mr. Bates, you beautiful little psycho. And you're still weird. Look at you stuffing your bird.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, but look at this. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie reference inside an Alfred Hitchcock movie based off of a Robert Bloch novel based on Ed Gein. This is Inception.
We do get a nice flashback to Norman killing his biological mother in the last movie.
This just happens way too often for me. Just casually doing my taxidermy and minding my own business and then bang! Nasty flashback.
But honestly, I'm glad they showed this because I completely forgot all about it. But regardless, he then preserves her body as the new mother, but... Wait. What? Dude, you're off your rocker, you loony!
We all go off the rocker a little sometimes.
Yes.
Oh, it's this again. I actually really wish he was Mother's first victim. This Duke guy is just insufferable.
So he's an absolute criminal. What with the attempted robbery, attempted rape, parking his car funny, wearing a mullet, all he needs now is illegible antagonizing graffiti on the wall to complete 1980s villain bingo.
Just look at my innocent flannel shirt and my big smile. I'm completely harmless, whereas my mother isn't. My smile simply says, I cannot possibly hurt you.
Oh, Norman. If it's any consolation, I'd stay at the motel with you. Or maybe I'd stay at your house, or your room, or I'd be cool with the couch, or maybe I could sleep in your lawn, or I could be you, or... Who said it?
Who is that insufferable woman?
So Rapist Duke gets a temporary job at Norman's motel, but somehow doesn't know that he's a damn serial killer. He doesn't even know he's a recovering serial killer. How does he not know this? That's like visiting Ted Bundy's house and not knowing who he is. His name has probably come up.
And have some foreshadowing. Which is never good for a movie, I'm just saying.
Oh hey, it's Ralph's place. I missed that place.
So this journalist is convinced Norman isn't rehabilitated. They're basically recycling the last film. And she's positive that he's responsible for Emma Spall's disappearance. But the thing is, a cop and the chef defend Bates, promising that he's a changed man. I'm sorry, but this would just never happen. Nobody would come out and be like, leave John Wayne Gacy alone. He's a changed man. He's paid for his crimes. So then the nosy cow begins to try to pry into Norman's mind, asking him personal questions.
If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yes, I do mind.
I'm doing an article on the insanity defense and the rehabilitation of mentally ill murderers. A lot of people think that they can't be rehabilitated and shouldn't be allowed back on the streets, that there shouldn't be an insanity defense. We always hear the objections of the victims and their relatives, but in a way, murderers who can't help themselves are victims too.
At least let me answer a few questions before asking 5 more.
And that's when he spots Maureen getting out of a truck.
Run, Norman, she's setting you up for a pyramid scheme. I can smell the Avon.
But he's more weirded out because she has the exact same initials as his mother's first victim, Marion Crane. Jeez, better also hide Mariah Carey, Michael Caine, Macaulay Culkin, Miranda Cosgrove, Michael Cera, Michael Cole, Miley Cyrus, or the entire deserted vessel, the Mary Celeste. As long as absolutely none of them come into town, they should be fine.
So, Norman gets flashbacks to when he killed Marion in the first film. Take a moment to look at his face. This face right here is the face of a truly mortified man who is being affected by PTSD, and is showing you that it's a very tough thing to go through. So I give heavy kudos to Anthony Perkins for giving him that amazing performance.
Although it looks weird because the original was black and white. But Perkins actually wanted this film to be shot in black and white to match it. But the studio refused. Regardless, it is a nice little edit job as it shows his mental state beginning to deteriorate. Again. Oh, what is it with movies making serial killers calmly play the damn piano? But wow, you really feel for Maureen as she ends up at the motel and she sees Duke again. This poor woman just can't catch a break.
You work here.
It's called suffering for one's art. Look, I'm sorry about last night. I was a little road weary.
Oh! Well, that's alright then. All is forgiven. But Norman really isn't a people person, is he? Look at this! Oh yeah, that's a nice welcome.
He's such a smooth operator.
Oh, why thank you.
But then he freaks out because she's given the exact same cabin as the first movie.
Put me closer to the window.
Someone will see you, Mother.
Are you ashamed of me?
Okay, this was a problem I had before. So now Norman is pretending to be his biological mother, but the voice clearly isn't Perkins, so it just ruins the illusion. But it does at least do something differently. The second movie didn't do the whole mother angle like this, and the closest this gets is to copying the original. But the circumstances have completely changed. In the first movie, for the whole film, we're led to believe that his mother is alive, and it's just the twist at the end that reveals it's Norman in drag, and he has split personality disorder. But in this one, there's no hiding anything. They show him talk to his mother, but we know she's dead. We know it's him. So it's not hiding any twist from us. We're 3 films in, so now we're just witnessing a disturbing man fighting his own psyche.
And he's clearly doing some kind of ventriloquism, which is a really nice detail.
If the disgusting little whore is going to upset you so much, just get rid of her.
No! I like her, and I actually want her to make it out okay.
It's just a minor nitpick of mine, but in the original Psycho, the room wasn't that big. So good. So good.
So Duke hits on Venables in a bar, but she's clearly not interested, but he just won't take no for an answer.
Any objections to a guy trying to buy you a drink?
I got a drink.
So have another.
Take a hint, no, you can't buy me a drink.
You know, sometimes it's just good to sit on your windowsill at dusk and listen to the sound of people screaming on the television.
What?
No, nothing. Just like old times.
So Norman starts spying on Maureen, but the music is so creepy, man. This feels like a damn satanic film at this point. He watches her undress, and the peephole is always a great way to build suspense. You're constantly expecting a jump scare, so whether or not you actually get one is terrifying.
Ooh, this scene is giving me chills. As Mother comes in, the tension rises. I'm at the edge of my seat. This here is horror. But what a twist! Maureen attempted suicide, but Mother then switched back to Norman and saved her life. Aw, my hero.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that just sounds hilarious. Imagine the situation happening in real life.
That's my hair, boy. Be careful.
Yeah, Mother. Whatever. Where's the hole? Now this is where men wear pants.
So Venables informs Duke of Norman. How did he not know already? Should someone maybe tell him about a tiny little guy called Adolf Hitler? I've probably never heard of him either.
You're the one who found me, Mr. Bates.
Norman.
I get it now. He doesn't want to be called Mr. Bates because it sounds like Master Bates. Ah, man.
You're not funny.
You remind me of someone I knew once.
But you don't know me. After the way you found me, you must think I've gone mad.
No. We all go a little mad sometimes.
He's in, boys! He did it! He said it!
Seriously, he's still got it. After this many years, Tony Perkins still has the character of Norman in the palm of his hand. Amazing.
Why don't you come down and join our party?
Oh, no, thanks.
Too bad.
Dude, she just offered Norman Bates a threesome. How does nobody know who Norman Bates is? Or does she? Weird b****.
The acting is definitely a testament to their talent. Juliet Cummins and Anthony Perkins clashed on set, but you can't really tell because, well, Look at how good they are together.
Duke seems to have an obsession with lamps and flashlights. Why is that?
Oh, that's because the actor Jeff Fay was uncomfortable being completely naked, so he used those lamps to cover himself.
I hate to say it, but it's a bright idea.
Norman!
Sorry, Mother.
Then Duke just kicks her out and gives her some cab money.
You make it all sound so cheap.
It is, but it beats a vibrator.
Yeah? Well, at least a vibrator gets me off.
Then Mrs. Bates murders her while she's changing. I still don't quite get why they hide her identity during the murders when we know it's Norman, but it still does look pretty good.
Well, it's not me! How dare you accuse me of something like that? It's not like I hurt anybody. About that, one can never be too careful when cutting sandwiches.
So Maureen now has to pay because she attempted suicide, which is a sin.
But, Father, it does say that God forgives all sinners. Are you gonna fight with it? Are you gonna fight with all of these?
So Norman goes out with Maureen, but where the hell did this even come from? I mean, I like the idea of Norman in a relationship. It was hinted at in the last movie that he had feelings for Mary, but it never went any further. So this is the first time we've really seen him express himself, but it's just out of nowhere. Sure, he saved her from a suicide attempt, but other than that, there's been no indication that they were ever going to be together. Just, whoop, they're a couple.
Yes, but look at them! Oh, cuteness overload!
It is sweet that she has no confidence and Norman teaches her to dance and tries to help with her self-esteem. I'll give him that. But also, how the hell has Maureen not reported Duke for attempted rape yet? Why is she surrounded by psychopaths?
Gee, they're pretty loud.
Yeah.
But you see, Mother isn't too pleased with Norman's new relationship.
It is a nice subtle touch that Norman covers his mouth or turns away anytime Mother talks. It is really cool, but man, he's having an entire conversation with himself, the loony. So Maureen shows up while he's holding a knife, but he does manage to fight the urge to stab her eyes out and turn it into a Cornish stew. Good for him.
Hey, where'd you come from? Jeez, you about scared the out of me. Do you mind, sister?
Who the hell acts this natural when someone in drag is watching you pee?
And then Mother just kinda kills her. But why here? Why now?
The issue is, this has now turned into a Friday the 13th movie. What I liked about Psycho was that the body count was always quite low and it was more of a psychological thriller trying to break down the mystery. The second one was about Norman's psyche and exploring the mind of a serial killer. Now this has aspects of the latter, but for the most part it doesn't have interesting characters outside of maybe Maureen. It's just people being hacked off one by one. It's just a generic slasher now.
Dude. This whole recreation is completely spot on. If you watch the classic and then you watch this, pretty close.
You don't want to go up there.
Why? Something's wrong with Norman.
Oh, something is definitely wrong with Norman, alright. So the cops show up to investigate Norman's house as he's suspected for the disappearances and murders.
Oh, it was Venable. She did it.
But they find no evidence and leave. But seriously, he eats ice and doesn't even notice all of this blood on it. These are the worst cops in existence!
She told you about me, didn't she?
Yes.
Even though you're Norman Bates and everyone in the local area should know who you are by now, but okay.
Oh, Maureen, don't go. Norman really needs you, now more than ever. Get out of here, you little slut!
So, literally, Duke is now in on it and wants to help Norman. It's treated like it's such a big plot twist, but how? He was a rapist! Him murdering people is hardly a shocker. He even bribes Norman for money or else he'll report him to the police. Now, the original story idea was actually going to have Duke as the killer. He goes to the motel because he's fascinated with Norman and his story, so he then is basically a copycat killer, starts murdering people, and Norman was innocent the entire time. And this would actually explain why they keep Mother's identity hidden for the entire movie, and it would have actually been a really cool twist at the end. But Friday the 13th did try the same thing recently, so, you know, nobody liked it. It's no surprise that they didn't go through with it.
Dude, Norman Bates is a pro at knocking people the f*** out. That's it, Norman. Give him the old quick draw McGraw.
Then he hears some Looney Tunes and thinks it's his mother laughing. Okay, his insanity is handled really well in this one.
Are you sure, Maureen?
Oh, yes. Norman understands me. He understands forgiveness. I failed so many people, Father. I won't fail him.
Why, Maureen? Why didn't you just stay with Norman? Why all the fuss?
And it's even revealed that Mrs. Spool, Norman's biological mother, was the one who murdered Norman's father. This is a really cool twist. Until the next one where it's completely retconned. But wait, he's a necrophile too.
Hey, don't judge me.
But as Norman is driving both bodies away... Wait a minute. Duke is still alive?
Then they drive into a swamp and then he dies! And nobody will ever remember him.
Ooh, this genuinely freaks me out, man. Look at this horror show. Can you imagine being in the same situation? Christ.
So Maureen makes it back and still believes that Norman is innocent and completely sane. Jesus Christ, Elizabeth Klepfer caught on quicker than this.
I never should have gone away. Whatever happened to you in your past, I know you're good. You took a life, but you also saved a life.
So that makes it okay!
Natural selection, just the way God intended.
I'm just not feeling this relationship at all. It's just bizarre. I don't get the connection or closeness. I don't buy it. Then she dies anyway. Oh well.
This actually hurts me to see. My heart generally shatters for him. So Norman gives Maureen a proper wake. She's his first and only love. That is until the next film. Either way, it's freaking heartbreaking, dude.
Is it bad that all I'm wondering right now is how f***ing long it must have taken to light all those candles? And this ending drags, man. I just want it to end. With the first two movies, I was enthralled all the way, but here, it's just boring. So Mother confronts the journalist, and it does get really intense as she yells for Norman. Okay, this is amazing.
Please, Norman, please listen to me. Norman, Mrs. Bates, whoever you are, damn it, doesn't it make any difference in that demented brain of yours?
Hey, this really is Friday the 13th. So, Friday the 13th ripped this off, and now this ripped it back off. It's the circle of life.
There's a nice moment where you're wondering if Norman will really do it, but then he snaps and starts stabbing his mother's corpse anyway. First it cut off her scream, and then it cut off her head.
I wish we'd cut to the credits!
But it seems that he's finally free from his mother's torment.
But not the police, as he's finally arrested. Again.
Good God, son. You'll never get out again.
Unless they want to make another one. Or a prequel. Or a TV series.
Dude, the stare always gives me these chills, even to this day. Ooh.
And that was Psycho 3.
Ah, another masterpiece.
It's fine. I'd say it's good, not great. Psycho was a classic and was built on suspense, while the second one was a character study of a serial killer losing his mind again. This one tries to do the latter for a second time, and it does succeed in a way. It handles the relationship side, which is new, and the stuff with Mother was different, but other than that, I don't care for any characters, and it just became a generic slasher with meaningless people being killed off. It also starts to drag towards the end, so I'd say if you're a fan of the franchise, maybe check it out, but to me, it's certainly the least good one.
I agree, the film did have its dragging parts, but the direction and imagery made up for that. I mean, the shots and angles in this film were terrific. It made you feel tense when tension was on screen. It also made you feel like you were traveling down the rabbit hole that is Norman Bates' psyche. If they would have kept the original ending and the original plotline, this film would have had way more thrills and even more tension, but either way, it's absolutely worth a watch and I recommend you try it.
There! Now I can finally go free!
Not so fast.
What?
Do you really think that you can get away with making fun of my son and his film?
I liked it!
Oh, they'll be wiping away your blood off the walls for months. Run, run!
Huh?